What is going on, and welcome back to the DoF Journeyman with me, FoggyPlays, on FM21. Today we are taking on Juventus, aka Zebra, and Angers in the Champions League. We've been a little bit hit or miss since we were here last. We are doing relatively well in the group. I think we're top of the group. Second in the group. Not terrible. Playing top of the table, Juventus today. Angers and Atletico Madrid play each other. It's very close. There's 3 points separates everybody in the group. It is madness. What else is madness is the fact that Man City beat Fenerbahce 8-1, and in the same group, Barcelona beat AZ 8-0. I saw that come up yesterday, and I was like, that is insane. 16 goals scored by the home team in those 2 games. That is, AZ and Fenerbahce never stood a chance in that group. But since we were here last, we've been decently in form, apart from the fact that we lost to NEC. They were bottom of the league when this happened. We just weren't very good, to be fair. I think that was the first game Steve Gay played, and it was a good goal. Just defensively, we were shocking. Then we drew 2-2 with Ajax. Every goal scored in the first 12 minutes, which, you know, it was a fun start to the game, and then pretty much nothing happened after that. Kroon scored in the first minute and the 12th minute. Ajax got a goal in the 6th and the 11th, and then, it, like I said, pretty much nothing happened after. Then against Pex Vol, it ended 2-0. Ekelenkamp and Renda with the goals for us. Renda had a whirly of a game. He was on top of everything. We then went and drew away to Atletico Madrid with a 66 minute equaliser from Gregory Kroon. He's been in savage form this year. It is insane how good he's been. We then went and got beaten by AZ. Calvin Stengs was just a lot better than we were. I brought on Kirk, who had just recovered from an injury, and 3 minutes after he came off the bench, picked up another injury. So he's been out since. To be fair, it's not been that long since the AZ game, but he's been quite unfortunate the last couple of months. Every time he seems to play, he picks up an injury. But Burak Rusinin scored his first goal in a little while, since before the last game of the last episode. And then we went and beat the team that were top of the league at the time, Sparta, with Gregory Kroon scoring and Mart Mass, I hear you ask. Who is this guy? Well, he's a right winger who was in our B team and was starting to play really well, or who was playing really rather well for the B team. You wouldn't know it based on the fact that he's at a 6.93. We did a couple of standout games. I said I'd bring him up, give him a chance. He's after scoring in quite an important game, so he's gotten in for today's game, because why not? We have had a couple of players leaving, but I will update you on that in January, because I don't see the point in telling you what's going on transfer-wise when I don't really have an idea myself. So we're just going to wait and see what happens. The Juventus team, again, lining up fairly defensively with 3 at the back, which seems to be the new tactic for this season. A lot of teams are using 3 at the back, but we're starting with Stevie Gay in goal, Dumfries and Coops as our wingbacks. Coops has been he's been fantastic. This man, his attributes are trending in the right direction. Renda and Pierre as our centre backs. Brazzaro is starting at DM today because Josef Roos been hit or miss recently. Luchtenberg continues in central midfield with Broland as his midfield partner. Mass is starting out on the wing with Kroon playing as a winger today, because Ekelenberg, it's not even close to his name. Ekelenkamp is starting as our striker, because we have Rossinian, Desmond Paul and Kirk all injured. So we're a little light on the old striker front. So hopefully the director of football sees that and goes, hey, we could do with a striker. Because if he doesn't, we're going to be picking players from our B team and under 19s, which, to be fair, there's a really good guy in the under 19s. But when I say really good, I mean he's really good for the under 19s. Not so much for first team at the moment. I think next season he would be an absolute worldie. But right now, not so much. But we are going into this game relatively happy with how I'm very happy with how things are going. The fact that we're sitting even in the top 2 in our group, Castrovelli is so far offside. We are playing an attacking mentality today, so we are going balls to the wall. We're going to attack. We're going to try and win this game. I don't see the point in sitting back and defending. It's just not really how we play. It's what our assistant managers, because we have multiple assistant managers, whichever one of the assistant managers is set to do pre-game stuff, like the tell me what we should be doing, he seems to think that we should go defensive against everybody, even the worst teams in the league. He's like, hey, you should really be very defensive for this game. So, no, we shouldn't. We shouldn't be defensive for any of it. Okay, Angers are losing to Atletico Madrid. Dumfries is just after getting booked. Dumfries has had a lot of interest in him recently. Juventus, we got away with that one. Kroon gives away a silly free kick. You can tell he's not a defender and is very much a forward player. That ball was weird with how the way it bounced, but I'm not going to say anything. We're going in at half time. Not yet. We're going in at half time 0-0. I'll take half time at 0-0. We are going to thrash arms and say I'm far from pleased. Ecklenberg, or why do I keep saying Ecklenberg? Ecklenkamp, not really having a great game up front today. Don't really have anyone on the bench that can do anything else. Brolin is playing decently well. Do I want to make a change? Do I want to make a change? Do I have anyone I can bring on that's going to make a change? Could bring on the Van Muurs, but I don't really want to take Eckling. Yeah, we're going to take Ecklenkamp off, bring on Moores. I'm going to make you a poacher because you're not really a complete forward. So that's a substitution each used so far. Juventus's substitution was... Oh, Dumfries is getting sent off. Denzel, what are you doing? Alright, Rosario. Slot you over here. I'm going to just make you... I'm going to make the lads a little less attacking. Because we're not in a situation where we have the DM anymore. We can't just kind of balls to the wall. I should have taken Dumfries off. But I thought he'd be smarter than that. We're going to give a bit of... See, look. Sasha Van der Most. It's just, they're like very defensive. Just wants us defensive all the time. I don't want to be defensive. If I was given the option, I definitely would not have this guy as my assistant manager. Because he is far too negative in his approach. And we don't play negative. We play attacking, aggressive, angry football. Luxembourg is... Kroon's not playing well either, but we don't really have anyone we can bring on for him because we've taken off Ecklenkamp. I could put Broland over here, make him a deep lying playmaker. Leave Lechtenberg play. Yeah, we're just gonna swap the midfield just a little bit. We are going to demand more as soon as we can. Atletico Madrid are 2 up against Angers. Mass whips it across. I'm not sure who hit the post, but that was unfortunate. Juventus on the break. Renda heads it clear. Broland, unfortunately, it's poorly placed, but it's fine. Lechtenberg. Kroon. Van Muurs. Oh, he tries to dink the keeper. And instead he dinks the goal. Alright, we're going to have to start making changes because our players are starting to get very tired. Lechtenberg, you're not playing that well. I'm going to bring on Hendricks, who's been complaining about not getting a first team football. Not really deserved it, but you know. Kroons, you can come off for Jensen, I suppose. Just have him as advanced forward. We don't really have anyone we can... well, actually, what if I put Mass? Yeah, why not? Mass is score goals this year. We're down to 10 men. I wouldn't be disappointed, or I wouldn't be delighted with a draw. But the fact that we had a player sent off so early in the match, I can kind of deal with a draw. Peglow's offside. That's fine. Alright, I'm going to berate the lads. Don't give it. Thank God. Thank God. I've had one given, and I was afraid that was going to be the second time where the goal would be given. I was going to say, have Angers pulled Atletico back, but they have not. We've managed to draw at home against Juventus with 10 men. I am far from pleased with what I've seen. I'm going to give out to Dumfries for getting sent off. Everyone else then just... Nobody was that good. So we're just going to ignore it. Skip ahead to the Angers game, where Angers can still qualify, but it would take a miracle. But they still could. If Juventus beat Atletico in the last game and Angers beat us by 5, well, I suppose 3. Yeah. So we'll be back in just a second for the Angers game and a roundup of what we've done in the games in between. So we're back now for the game against Angers, and form has been terrible, really, since you were here. In the Juventus game, we lost to ADO Den Haag. We were just terrible in that game. And then against NAC Breda, couple of changes. I think it was 4 changes total. Didn't work. Absolutely didn't work. So it's not working. It's not going well. We had a team meeting after the Den Haag game, and everyone was like, "Oh yeah, let's go." And then no, absolutely nothing. We were toothless against NAC Breda, as you can see. Pretty much everybody played below par. Renda had a 7.1, and Ecklenkamp played a 7. Everyone else, shocking. So we're going into the game against Angers, who I believe are in they're better form. They just lost to Monaco, but you'd still look at them and say that's better form than what we're in. And we have a game against NEC coming up as well. It's just fantastic. So we've made a couple of changes for today's game. Gay comes back in because Yonkers was terrible in the last game, but Gay has been terrible as well. But he's just been slightly less terrible. Rosario comes in for this game because Dumfries is suspended. Coops starts at left back. He's just back from a little holiday. He was exhausted, so he got a little bit of time off. So he's going to start. Literally came back this morning. So he's going to continue in. Renda and Pierre continue as our centre-back partnership. It's pretty much the only centre-back partnership we used this year. Hendricks moves into the DM position because Yusuf Roos he's not been great in recent games. Broland and Ecklenkamp start in central midfield. Luchtenberg moves to the right wing. Pull starts on the left wing. Kroon, who is very out of form, is starting as our striker. And Reidenwald has picked up an injury as well. So, yeah. He picked up an injury in the game against NAC Breda. I played him for up till half time and then decided to take him off because they were like, oh, it's not that bad. He's out for 3 weeks. So, yeah. It's a hot mess. We are struggling something fierce. But we're doing it. We've made a couple of tactical changes as well. They've adjusted the kind of what we're telling the players to do. They're starting with a very strong team. Colin Terry starts up front. Don't like that. Stacey Morgan's on the bench. Touré's on the bench. Niang's on the bench. They've a lot of... we know this Angers team very well. And I am going to thrash my arms to say I fully expect you to end this poor run of form. I'm going to point my finger and say I want a solid defence. I'm going to say the same to the midfield. And I'm going to thrash my arms and say I want Kroon to score some goals. I am not in any mood to lose this game. They've 2 wins in their last 5. We, however, have 1 win and 1 draw in our last 5. We are not doing well at all. But we know that all we have to do is draw and we should be fine. That was a terrible goal kick by Stevie Gay. Thankfully, he manages to make the save from Niepo. If we conceded within the first 6 minutes, I would be very, very annoyed. Oscar Bob gets headed clear by Renda. Nobody moves for the ball, and Casas comes away with it. The only way we're in trouble is if Atletico Madrid beat Juventus. That would drop us to third. Yeah, would drop us to third. Thankfully, Juventus have just taken the lead. We're going to drop a bit more encouragement. It's not been a great game so far. 5 shots in the first 40 minutes. 6 shots in the first 40 minutes. 2 on target. Ricky Pooch. Velu heads over, thankfully. Angers miss another opportunity. I'm going to thrash my arms and say I'm far from pleased. I am far from pleased. So I'm going to put my fists at Paul, who's motivated now, but everyone else is, like Kickpair and Stevie Gay, are having decent games. Everyone else is just a little bang average. Luchtenberg straight at the wall. Kroon gets across to Hendricks, who gets his shot blocked. And the highlight comes to a halt. Coops with the throw. Big throw. Guillermo Henrique is there to punch it away. It falls to Eklenkamp, and Luchtenberg puts the shot away. They're saying it's Opoku for missing the header. It looked like it was. Yeah, the keeper punched it. I don't know how anyone could say that any of the Angers defenders are at fault there when the keeper limp wristed it. That's not really Guillermo Henrique's fault, but that's fine? Question mark. I'm not gonna complain, I guess, is what I'm saying. We're gonna make a couple of changes. Desmond Paul is playing terribly. We're going to bring on. We'll bring on Kirk. Move Kroon out onto the left. Move Kirk up front because Kirk is a pretty decent striker. We do have Stefan Boma. I don't know if I showed him in the last part of the episode, but he has been smashing him in for the B team. 16 games, 19 goals. So we brought him up to the first team. We've given him a couple of games so far. We just want to see how he gets on. And he is going to potentially come on because Luchtenberg and Eklenkamp both rather tired. So they could be our next 2 changes. And we're not doing too badly. They want me to take Stevie Gay off because Stevie Gay is 1 booking away from a suspension. I'm not worried about that kind of suspension. So don't worry about it. We're going to make Kirk a Raumdeuter. Boma can continue as the advanced forward. He's going to come on for the remainder of the game. We don't really have a central midfielder on the bench. And by don't really, I mean we'd have to move Hendricks forward. I don't really want to do that. Hendricks is... He's a club legend. He's a legend of the club. But he's not that good. Opoku, offside. Offside. Easy offside. No bother. Eklenkamp is going to move. It's going to come off. He's just too tired. Ruse is going to play as the halfback. Hendricks is going to move up and be the Mazzella. Opoku did stray offside. It's fine. Opoku is going to have probably a fairly low rating for this game because he... No, 6.7, 6.6. They said he was at fault for our goal. And Kroon's picked up a knock. Potential foot injury. Fanda Bedossi, expialidocious. Just take you off. We're just gonna... Actually, we are just going to guarantee that we don't lose this game. So we're going to make Ruse a halfback in the middle, deep line playmaker, and Hendricks can be a ball winning midfielder on defend. Actually, I'm going to put you as a defend instruction as well. We'll just see this game out. I swear to God, if we concede now, Ruse heads it down to Kirk, Broland. gets it forward. Kirk can't get there. What am I playing Kirk as? Deep lying forward. How about pressing forward? I shouldn't have made that final substitution. Like, it was completely unnecessary for us to make all 3 substitutions. But then again, didn't expect to pick up an injury, and we are still doing decently well. Niang, never in doubt. Stacey Morgan was having a decent game, but we have beaten Angers. We've made it through to the next round of the Champions League. Nobody expected it. I didn't expect it. We've been in terrible form, and then we go to the Champions League. We're just like, yeah, we'll just beat Angers. So we've managed to get one over on our old team. I think they've finished 4th. So they are out of Europe. First time they've made it to the Champions League, and we knocked them out. Bada bing, bada boom. Place gets one over on Angers. Of course we do. 3 weeks for Kroon. That's not ideal. He'll be back for the start of January, which isn't too bad. We've qualified for the first knockout round, and we've been given £2.46 million. Definitely needed that to be added to the bank balance. We don't have money to begin with. The youth candidates, I'm waiting for a preview, which I'm guessing because we normally get it in December for March time. I'm assuming it's going to be like early January we're going to get one. I don't know exactly. Dynamics wise, we're not doing too badly. Anybody? Yes, we still have like important players like us. That's the main thing. 2 of our 3 team leaders like us. That is all that matters at the moment. So next episode is going to be probably the first knockout round of the Champions League. That is, the draw is in the not too distant future. Draw date is the 14th, so it's like next week. And we are, is that the first knockout round of the Europa League? Would imagine so. We'll have a quick look and see actually who we could be facing. So we finished second in our group, so we could play Leipzig, PSG, Valencia. By the looks of it, it'll probably be Liverpool, who are after qualifying. Could be Inter or Borussia Dortmund, and then potentially Barcelona or Man City. They're tough games. Fenerbahce have conceded 22 goals. Zaglaris have only conceded 13. Fenerbahce have conceded 25. So Fenerbahce, the worst team to make it to the group stage of the Champions League, joined with CSKA Sofia. But Sofia have already played all their games. Fenerbahce have 1 more to go. So we will be back in the next episode for whoever we're playing in the Champions League. If you have enjoyed this, please do make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe. Actually, I didn't show you the league table. League table, we're sitting 6th. It's not great. So, yeah. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, share with all of your friends. And, we went unbeaten in the Champions League group. That is something I didn't realise. Thank you for watching, fellas. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!